Good evening. I love how my t-shirt's just like poking up. I really want to show you my t-shirt. How cute is that? If you're looking to invest in one yourself, search for Dynamite Designs on Instagram, because that's who it's by. I have just been to see The Fall Guy. My God, it's entertaining. Oh my days. What a bloody fun bundle of silliness it was. Oh, I loved it. It was so fun, man. And what's wrong with a bit of fun? Nothing, let me tell you. So, The Fall Guy. This is a film from director David Leitch. He is a former stunt coordinator, which ties in very nicely with this film. And he directed Bullet Train, which I haven't seen, but he also directed Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw, which I have seen, and still to this day remains the only part of the Fast and Furious franchise that I've ever seen. Never seen them. They're not for me. But if you want to go back and have a laugh, find my review of Hobbs and Shaw from wherever it was, because again, that film was so entertaining. This is the story of a stuntman called Colt Siebers, I think his name is, played by Ryan Gosling. He has been doubling for a big-time movie star called Tom Ryder, played by Aaron Taylor-Johnson, for some time, and then on set one day a shot goes wrong and Colt breaks his back, and that is him out of the game. So the thing is, Colt had been having a bit of a relationship with a camera operator called Jodie. Jodie is played by Emily Blunt. They had a bit of a spark between them. They were arranging a date as the stunt went awry. And then we fast forward 18 months and Colt has cut himself off from Jodie and his old life. So he's no longer a stuntman. He is now parking cars. He's a valet driver at a local cocktail bar. And he's clearly a shadow of him for myself. But then he gets a call from movie producer extraordinaire Gail Myers, played by the exquisite Hannah Waddingham in a troubling brown wig, saying, Jodie's making her first feature film. She needs you to be the stuntman. We've had to get the other stuntman's gone. It's another Tom Ryder project. We need you. Jodie's asked for you specifically. So the next thing he knows, he's turned his back on valet parking. He's back in the game and he's on his way to Sydney, Australia. That's the setup. That's kind of roughly like your first 10 minutes of the film. He gets to Sydney. It turns out Jodie hasn't asked for him. She doesn't want him on the set. There's a lot else going on beneath the surface, and actually the reason why Gail has summoned him to Sydney is because Tom has gone missing. He's gone on some sort of weird bender, and Gail has decided that the best person for the job of finding Tom, the movie star, is his former stunt double, Colt. And that's your setup. Did I mention it was entertaining? Good God, this film is fun. So I'm going to talk a little bit about its stars, because part of why this film works as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks great. It's really slick. It's got, funnily enough, an absolute butt ton of incredible stunts in it. Like, there is so much stunt work in this film and it's ridiculously entertaining. Stuff is blowing up, and this is my Hobbs and Shaw review is just me repeatedly saying stuff blows up, and it's very similar here. There are a lot of incredible stunts, but the reason why I love this film so much is because its lead actors are so well matched, so charismatic, and so completely watchable that it just elevates it from sort of ordinary blockbuster fare to something much more enjoyable, because you are so invested in these characters, in their love story, in everything else that's going on. So Ryan Gosling is a handsome chap. There is no two ways about it. He's got a lovely face and actually is a very, very gifted actor. Now, he said quite publicly recently that at his current stage of his career, because he is a father, he is married to, or at least in a long-term relationship with, the actress Eva Mendes. They have children. He wants to make films that his children can go and see. So that rolls out gritty stuff like Drive and The Place Beyond the Pines. Right now, he's doing popcorn, big budget, big silliness stuff. And do you know what? He's really, really good at it. And he manages to make it charming and watchable and not at all cheesy. His performance as Ken is one of, you know, Beach Ken, obviously, because all, you know, there's different Kens, but he's Beach, and it's so magnificent. His performance of I'm Just Ken at the Oscars will go down in Oscars history, and rightly so. So he's wonderful. Emily Blunt as Jodie is superb, and in all fairness, I don't think I've ever seen her put in a duff performance. She's incredibly watchable, and again, she can do the big drama, and she's done the horror, she's done like the Quiet Place stuff with her husband John Krasinski, she's been Mary friggin' Poppins, and she was superb at it. Like, I love her. And then Jungle Cruise a couple of years ago with The Rock, with Dwayne Johnson and Jack Whitehall, proved that she can do action star, and that's what she gets to do here. And she's brilliant, and she's beautiful, and they make such a great pair. Hannah Waddingham, star very much on the rise, and big up the women sort of hitting their stride a little bit later on. I know she's been a Broadway and a West End actress for a long time, but her portrayal of Rebecca Welton in Ted Lasso has put her on the map, and now she's getting roles like this, and she's superb. Oh, and then let's throw in Winston Duke into the mix, best known as, I think, M'Baku in the Black Panther franchise. He's also in Us. He plays the dad in Us, and very, very good in that. He's the stunt coordinator in the film. He's great. Love him. Great stuff. Who else is knocking about? Stephanie Sue, the actress from Everything Everywhere All at Once, and also I think she was in Joyride, which I absolutely loved. So like, everybody in it is brilliant, and everybody in it is having a great day. Aaron Taylor Johnson as Tom Ryder, the movie star, plays Hollywood a-hole so exquisitely. Like, he's an idiot, he can't do his own stunts, he thinks he's like Oscar worthy. He's not. He's a pretty face, and he's like an action star, but he's an action star who can't even do his own stunts, and he plays that sort of vain, pretty moron really well. And him, and the idea that Ryan Gosling is his stunt double, actually, when you see them side by side with the same sort of beardy look, it is actually quite believable that one would double for the other. So he's not in it as much, but again, very good in the part. Like, everybody's having a lot of fun. Hannah Waddingham is chewing on the scenery as producer Gail, like I say, with the big brown hair and the sort of jumpsuits, and she's referred to it at one point as freebasing Diet Coke, which really makes me laugh, because every time you see her, she's got a drink in her hand and like a Diet Coke with a straw. It's really entertaining. If I've got one criticism, it's too long. It's 2 hours 6 minutes, I think, was the official runtime, and it could have been trimmed a little bit. But the big action set piece that it builds up to at the end is just wonderful. And because it's a film within a film, you know, that those films where you're seeing behind the curtain of movie making is always really good fun. And the fact that as you're watching Ryan Gosling do these stunts, you know that actually somebody is doing a lot of those stunts for him, because you're not going to let Ryan Gosling fling himself at a helicopter or go through a windscreen. So big up the actual stuntmen who make these films possible. Off the back of that, I will say, as a totally separate recommendation, if you get the opportunity to watch the documentary The Boy Who Lived, about the stuntman who was injured, I want to say his name was David Holmes, I think, who was injured making one of the Harry Potter films. That's a really interesting documentary, and it really sort of raised my interest in stunt performers and what they do. The time has come for them to be recognised properly by the Academy. Like, stunt performers should be getting Oscars, because you can't make films like this without them, and all the tech and all the sort of off-screen technical wizardry in the world doesn't give you the same impact as a real life stunt with a real man or woman throwing themselves off a building, out of a window, you know, onto a helicopter. It doesn't have the same effect. This film is an absolute belter, a wild ride, a proper summer blockbuster, even though it's only May, although the sun is out now, and I enjoyed it immensely. Big thumbs up, big recommend. It's a 12A film. It's really not got much in the way of bad language in it, so I would say is reasonably family friendly as well, and whips along quite nicely. I enjoyed it immensely. Give it a watch. Thanks for listening. Katie out.